What is up, my brothers and sisters? I wanted to point out some more things that are happening in the world that I see for what it is. And as we see here at the top, this officer is kicking this lady out of the school. Yeah, he's like, get the hell out of here. She's freaking out, talking about student protest or some bullshit, right? And he's like, dude, you're freaking psycho. You're scaring the kids. Get the hell out of here. We're at school. This is a learning place. It's kind of like a library. You're supposed to shh. All right? You're causing a disturbance. So she tried to say that, like, he shoved her, and then everybody made a big deal of it. And as you can clearly see, she wasn't even injured. He just, like, kicked her ass out, basically, right? Like, he was like, get the hell out of here. Like, what are you doing? You're not allowed here. And she's basically like, my son goes to this school. We're supposed to be protesting. And I'm like, first of all, if you were planning on protesting, then why did you even let your kid go to school? You freaking idiot. Why didn't you just stay home, take your stupid little posters, bring him to the school, and you could have avoided this whole situation, right? I mean, now she had to make a big deal out of it, right? So part of me says this may be set up. And of course, half and half, half people are going to be like, are on the officer's side. And then the other half are going to be like, well, he shouldn't have done that to her, right? And now they're banging on the door, let us in, give us our kids, we're protesting. And it's like, well, then why did you even show up to school today, right? Like when you had breakfast this morning and little Jimmy was sitting and drinking his orange juice and eating his Cheerios, like, you were like, wow, son, today's that protest. And he's like, that's right, mom. And we're going to bring our signs, right? And it's like, all right, so you're going to go to school. And then I'm going to take you out because you're not going to school. And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, then why even go? I don't know. I guess maybe today I decided to make a scene. You know what I'm saying? I decided to be more difficult than it should be, right? You know what I'm saying? And then, let's see if we can find Uvalde. I mean, get this. Get this. So then they did an interview, right, with this guy right here. Father of Uvalde shooting survivor talks about his daughter. So basically, he's stating that him and his daughter and all their little friends like to hang out at his home because it is a safe place and a place for the survivors to, I don't know. I guess it's therapeutic is what he's trying to say. He doesn't say that, but he's like basically saying when they all get together, they forget and they become kids again, right? And blah, blah, blah. So 2 weeks ago, he is saying that he wants to take them all to Disneyland, right? And, if y'all have time, watch this interview. I feel like it's like a crock of shit, for one. For two, I'm like, dude, what more do you want? They're literally building like a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art school full of security. I mean, they got like guard doors, they got guards, they got police, they got 9-foot walls. It's like a prison, right? Like, dude, you're already getting that. Like, what more do you want? Right? And he's like, oh, they want to take, and then they want to, so he's basically asking for like $50,000. And I'm like, what? And then he's like, we're at 8,000. And I was like, dude, 8,000's plenty to go to Disneyland on, right? You don't need $50,000, right? It's like, dude, you get there and like with like 1,000 or less, right? I mean, I don't know, but he wants to take like all the, like, I don't know, it's like 5 kids. There's 11 in the class, but he's saying more than half of them don't associate with them because, I don't know, maybe they're trying to move on with their lives instead of keeping this bullshit alive. So, 2 things, okay? 2 things. And I'm not trying to make fun of the situation. I think it's terrible and horrible. And, I wish the world was different, but it is what it is. But first off, hypocritical people, good thing we don't leave the laws and all this stuff to all these idiots that think they're always right, because everybody thinks they're right? And it's like, dude, no, most of you are fools and idiots. That's why we don't leave it to you guys. First of all, for that prison to be top of the art, state of the art, secure for these children, you, one, must figure out how to even stop the kids from bringing guns to school. Yeah, the shooter might not be able to get in, but what happens when one of the kids who gets bullied ends up getting pissed off, and he's like, I hate my teacher and my whole class, right? Like, now you've locked yourself in with the killer. Yay! Whee! Do you see where I see all these flaws? How this could go wrong and not work and possibly even make it worse. I mean, look at this. 4-year-old. A 4-year-old. A 12-year-old. Middle school. 5-year-old. AR-15 gun. Oh my god. What is going on here? How did he even fit that in his backpack? I mean, look at this here. I mean, is this for real? A 5-year-old boy with an AR-15. Like, how did he even get that in the school? Unless, like, he's just like Forrest Gump, right? And he's over there putting the gun together and he's taking it apart, right? He's like, this must be some kind of record. If it wasn't for you, I'd refer you to OCQ shortest, right? He's like, thank you, sir, right? Like, man, that's gotta be a record, Gump. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at this. You got tracer rounds and everything. Another 4-year-old? I mean, time and time again. Students, and then during the protest, right? The students had guns, right? They're like, just in case, right? Well, you see how it makes you feel a little better and protected? You know what I'm saying? They work. And it ain't even gonna be loaded. You can just like scare fools. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Arrested. Let's see if there's some. There's gotta be some. Elmwood Park High School students hold walkout after district failed to put Oregon students walk out of school and they call for action, right? Portland guns. Anyways, there were several students around the nation that got, found they had the guns on them. I don't know. I think there's like this thing called gangs and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's been a long time since I've heard the Bloods and the Crips protest a walkout. You know what I'm saying? I think they did like, I don't know, in the early 90s, like the Bloods and the Crips got together and they were like, no more street violence. I wonder how that worked out for them. Hopefully they're still not shooting each other. And then the guy that wants to go to Disneyland 2 weeks ago, hopefully they weren't at this event because those kids are going to be traumatized even more than they were already.